really want to learn how the government in Sutherland works and its budget and its taxes, because I just don't know about all of that yet. When I'm elected, I will do everything in my power to go to the meetings that they offer for this council and for all of us. And I'm presently serving on the R.L. Johansson Board, the Pear Tree Committee, and the Economic Development Committee. And in other words, I'm ready and willing to learn.
Gary Tunick, lived over here 15 years. Really great community, just trying to get more involved and trying to help out the city.
Okay. So the next question, and we'll start with Kate, and then with Bud. We're going to try and alternate back and forth between you two, so no one has to go first every time. The first question is, what is the most important asset that you bring to the table as a candidate for your respective office? So if you'd like to start.
Me?
Yeah. You.
The most important asset is, I ask a lot of questions. I'm pretty inquisitive about everything. I right now manage a small group of employees, and I'm finding that my strengths are growing within that kind of an arena. Listening to people is a pretty high skill that I'm used to doing, mediating and negotiating from some of my previous employment career experiences. But mostly, I'd say that I just have a strong desire to learn why, and then try and figure out how to solve problems.
Paul?
I would say I'm young and lack a little bit of knowledge with the town, but I lack in knowledge. I make up for an eagerness to learn and to help out. So I would say my strength is probably the eagerness to contribute.
Okay. Liz?
Oh.
And
Okay.
I'm going to do the three mayor and then
Oh,
the
okay,
two council.
okay. What I can bring to the table is 8 years that I served on the council, the last 4 years as mayor. There's been a lot of changes in the city. The new ordinances, we just redid the ordinances last September. It's the state, we follow the state recommendations for the community. And the programs that we have going now, I would like to see completed. Yeah. I'm very involved in the city, and I love Sutherland.
Bud?
Just trying to help out the city and learn more about it, to be, get involved with a lot more of what goes on around in the community.
Okay, and Joe?
And I'm the same reason. I love being back in Sutherland and back to my hometown roots, and I just really am anxious to get to know how everything runs in this town.
All right. What do you believe is the #1 issue facing Sutherland today, and what do you hope to do to address it? And we'll start with Paul.
One of the big things I see, especially as a young person, is not a lot of people my age stick around and start businesses and just try to flourish. I would like to see more of that in Sutherland, and I'd like to see the town grow. I don't want to see it fizzle. That's one of my big things.
Liz?
Kill that fly.
I think that the equipment in Sutherland is really deteriorating. That's why we started the franchise tax, and that hopefully will help. We have several projects. We have land that we inherited that is hopefully going to be developed in a few years, and we're working on this building and trying to tearing it down and turning that into some viable space for a business. And yes, we'd love to have more businesses in town. That's why we have a great economic development group that have developed our industrial park see the town grow or
Helen.
maintain itself.
So, here's what, okay, so one of the, Drew can attest to this, there's a lot of things where I'm in the town and I'm like, wait, why don't we have? So my thoughts is that on a mayor level versus a council person level, it's where I struggle. It's like, do I want to be a voting member and attribute that way, or do I want to work on the mayoral side where it is primarily a non-voting position, but just try to find out a way. Number one, everybody talks about the budgets, leveraging money so that it works for everybody, listening to see what other ideas are happening. Paul's right. Young is good. Keeping them here is great. And so we just need to keep moving forward. And I think when we have the fresh minds and the people that are eager to learn new ideas, listen to new ideas, and then try and implement them, then it's not, well, this is how it always has been. It's why can't we have something different? Why can't we keep progressing forward and not be at a stalemate where it's just kind of the same thing?
Okay. Joe?
Well, and I agree with what everybody said. We need more industry in this town, and I realize it's very difficult to achieve that goal. But I would like to work and work and work to see that we can't get something in here to keep people here.
Okay. They pretty much answered all of it there. I mean, it's nice to see the younger people, get into this, but to keep them here is the big thing. And just keep everything up to date and keep going ahead.
Okay. And then on the flip side of the coin, what do you think is the best asset Sutherland has at present? Liz?
The citizens, they come together when you need them. They will help out at a drop of a hat. I think that is one of our biggest assets is the citizens in Sutherland. And our economic development, our industrial park is another big asset. Willow Way, another asset in town, but mostly it's the citizens.
I think she's right. It's the heart of the Sutherland. It's a great community. It's always been a great community since I can remember. So moving here was kind of an easy decision. And having lived in various cities and a little bit larger, not so much small like Sutherland, but maybe Cherokee. Everybody here is just a little bit different. They're all a little more community-oriented and involved, and it's been very friendly. You guys have been very welcoming, so that's just a great asset.
I would say yes, the citizens and as well the small town atmosphere. The way we deal with everything as a whole is our strongest asset by far. Like Liz said, economic development, the industrial park, our Alger Hansen Center, we have a lot of really neat things going for the town. And I just want to be part of pushing that forward.
Like you said there, yeah, and keep things growing, like the community center come in, and the fire station here, just keep it all up and just keep getting more and more all the time to get a bigger community, and everybody sticks together very well.
And the people in this town are wonderful. After coming back after 60 years, it was just like I had never left. And I think that our citizens are the biggest asset we have.
Okay. Now, I had some questions submitted, but since we have so many people, I'm going to skip those and go right to the audience. So does anyone have a question that they'd like to ask the candidates? I know some of you do, Dennis.
I would like to address the people there. You have no idea what it takes to counsel a community, small community. Liz probably does. I would like to ask the councilman what they plan on doing on the abatement laws that were made years ago by our council and nothing is being done about them. Junk cars in the front yard, dumpsters in the front yard, junk cars in the backyard. This needs to be resolved, and needs to be resolved in the next year or two when the new council comes on. Now, Liz is the only one with any experience up there, and I wish to address the rest of the council what they plan on doing in resolving this issue.
Okay. Sorry, I was taking a couple pictures. I'm still going to have everyone up here answer it. So, if you'd like to start, Kay.
Honestly, I think there are people here that can say that's kind of an issue for me. It's a hot button issue. It's a hot button issue that's appropriate. I think that we do have the abatement. We have everything in place. Why can't we all be good neighbors? Why can't we all follow the rules? And if the rules are not working for people, then we need to proceed to what the next process is in the system, whether it's there's a warning, and then there's the ticket, and then there's whatever we got to do. Because if you hit in the financial pocketbook on people, people tend to behave. If it's not working for them, then they need to decide to go somewhere else. They don't rule the community. The community as a whole needs to step in and just say, we're going to take that. And those, if it's a law on the books, let's make it a, you can't speed, so don't speed. You break the law, you pay the fine. If you can't pay the fine, you don't get your next to your next to your next to your last chance. And I think that part of the thinking is that if we all can come together as a council and committees and mayors and just say, yeah, this is what we're not going to stand for, and then if the citizens hold us accountable for that, I don't understand why it is a problem.
Okay. We're going to try and keep the answers to a minute, so that we can get as many questions as we can. Yeah. No, and I knew when he asked it. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm actually going to thank Kay first of all because she answered, or basically said a lot of what I was thinking. Dennis, I'm not as familiar with that portion of it. I would like to know more about it before I make a seriously qualified answer, but I do agree that it needs to be addressed, and I would like to move forward with that as well. I'm not sure the proper steps to take yet, but obviously it needs to be looked at and gone over a little bit further.
Okay. And even though.
Okay. All right, the process is, we get a complaint, we send them a letter. They have a certain amount of time, 14 days, 30 days, it depends on how big the problem is. All right, say I have a junk car. All right, they have 14 days to get rid of it. All right, if they get rid of it and it's gone, there's the end. But if they bring in another car, you have to start all over again with a new letter. So if they bring junk in, and you send them a letter and say they have to get rid of it in 30 days, and they get rid of it, and they bring more in, that's another process. So that's where we're finding, and we do send out at least 7 letters a month on people. Some of them take it serious, and we are processing some that haven't. But that's the process. Once they remove something and they put something new in, it's a whole new process, and you got to start all over. That's our problem.
Joe?
Well, I've been attending the city council meetings, and I know that has been brought up at numerous occasions. And I know it's a problem. I've driven around town and seen some of these places, and so it's something that we all would have to work for.
Like Paul had said, that's something more that I'll have to check into for the laws and that behind it, but yes, it is so much a problem, and it needs to be taken care of.
Okay. Next question? Chuck?
Will you, as candidates, be attending the regional council government meetings and workshops that they hold periodically throughout the year to gain knowledge?
anxious to go to stuff like that and learn more about this whole thing. When I was in college, I got the unique opportunity to be involved with Skills USA BICA, which is similar to this. I held office at college and at state level, and really enjoyed the political aspect of it and learning more about that position. So yes, absolutely, I would love to do that.
Liz?
A lot of the meetings are held during the day, so I don't get to attend because I do work. But the ones on the evenings, I have attended some, the Mayor's Council in Storm Lake, I attended, and you had a lot of information, and you got to meet a lot of the mayors from other communities and see how they do and their process and that. But the problem is a lot of them are in the daytime and they are hard to attend. But we do have Tosh who goes to several and she relays what she learns to us when we can't make it.
I'm going, Chuck. I've talked to him about this before, you know, and so because I do a lot of inquisitive research on my own, I've read through on the website the dates, the times. I've communicated with my employer, who's been very generous and said, absolutely, whatever you need. So I have a pretty freed up schedule, and like Paul, it's always fun to learn new things, but I've also met with some of the other mayors of the other surrounding communities, and they've spoken highly of the training sessions and highly recommended you go. So yes, I'm committing to it.
Joe?
Yes, I plan on going to as many as possible. I will be there.
Yes, I plan on going to all of them I can. I've already talked to Natasha, if I get elected and beyond. Yeah, if I get somebody to drive me to them, yes, I will go to every one of them.
Okay. Who has another question, or do you? Does anyone have another question? Someone? Anyone?
What are the one big thing you'd like to see happen to Sutherland under your term in office if you're elected?
That starts with Liz.
Okay. In the next 4 years, I would like to see the Innes building developed. I would like to see development, hopefully housing in Sutherland, because there are no houses for sale in Sutherland. They are occupied. There's a few programs. I think we need to, we inherited that 14 acres out there. Sorry, north of town. I would like to see that developed into maybe some housing, sections, but we definitely need more housing.
Okay.
You know, what I would like to see is, of course, progression. Everything improves, everything keeps moving forward. But I'd also like to hear that people are happy and they're being heard, and their problems are big to them, so that we all can resolve whatever that is that's applying to the community, so that the people that we have here now, we're taking care of them. And then as we grow, we always need to remember that we need to pay very close attention, that we're not just pushing forward without really monitoring what's getting tossed off to the side and maybe not being taken care of. And so whether that's leveraging the dollars, whether that's increasing, homes for people or businesses in the economic development, I just think progress in people are being heard, and we're able to help everybody go through that system.
Paul?
I would like to see the industrial park develop more industry coming to town. I would like to see uptown become more developed as well, like Liz was talking about, the Innes building. I want to try new things and move forward with the town, but still preserve what we've got so far. Being respectful to the past, but still developing and moving on. That's what I'd like to see.
Okay. Bud?
Like you had said, yeah, keep the upkeep on what's downtown now. I'd really like to see more out here and businesses come in. help more jobs there for people in town and that. Joe?
Well, same, I would like to see more industry come to town if possible, and housing. And I guess the main thing that I'd like to see is the council and the committees work closer together.
Okay. Anyone? Lottie?
Yeah, what is your opinion on the city applying for grants? I know a lot of communities apply for grants to better their community, and which we did get a really nice one issued to us for the community building Legion. I just was wondering how you feel about the council, the city applying for grants and trying to use that to better the community, to get more industry or whatever, because there's a ton of grants out there.
Okay.
So I've actually done one grant writing project in my life, and so because you're asking that, kind of brings all that back to me. I would want to know why we're not reaching more, why we're not asking for more, why we're not either getting our group of people to write it or hiring a grant writer. That seems like money out the window sometimes, because it's like, why can't we? And shouldn't be a why can't we should be just doing it. So anything that's out there, we need to start doing.
Okay, Paul?
The question was, how do we feel about it, Craig? How do we feel about grant? I think that's phenomenal. We should be digging into that as far as we can. The more the merrier. Any help you can get for the town is phenomenal. I'm absolutely on board with that. I think it's a phenomenal idea.
Liz?
I've been through the process with the grant for the R.L. Johansson Center. It is a long process, but yes, there are grants out there. We are looking into a grant, the Brownstone grant, that should be able to help us with the cost of tearing the Ennis building down and developing that. As far as other grants, I haven't found one for roads, sidewalks, or that. I know there's a lot out there, but you have to have a specific project for those grants. And until we come up with those projects, we have done several grants, like the park, the fire station, Willow Way, we were in on that grant, so we have utilized it. It's just I don't know if we have utilized it to our full ability yet. But hopefully with this spring, a lot of them have like April, and we will be in on that one for the Ennis building. We will have that one sent in, and that's due in April, so.
I think we need to utilize it more, like I said, to help, if we get a business to come in to help get them going, take down buildings, help, even like in the community, to help with the housings, fixing them up, make them look better. I'm all for it.
I never was involved with any grants until I came back to Sutherland and was on the committee for the R.L. Johansson Center. And I think it's wonderful that they're out there and available. And I would do anything I could to be able to acquire the grants.
Okay. Next question? Anyone?
I already had more of a statement. One of the things I guess I would like to see the mayor and the council closer together. For getting more of the things done together. I'd also like to see, and I want you to know some of this, I don't care about the detail on some of the observations I've had.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Excuse me, I don't care if you speak about individual things I've observed in the past. I'd also like to see the city work closer with the library, fire department, with economic development, with commercial club. I think particularly in the editorial area, that is really almost a part-time job. I think it's something where they are going to be called upon a lot. And this is something for those of you that are running that's new. You're going to be called upon a lot, in my mind, to attend. And even if you're not called upon, you should go to a lot of these meetings and what takes place. I know also tearing down buildings and the cleaning up of different properties. And, I know that sometimes issuing these summonses and stuff, and people don't respond real well to them. I also know that it can be carried further. Some of those fines are daily fines if you want to impose them. I know that even some of our properties today that have not, that are falling, might even be questionable about falling into disrepair, that we can go in and look at these properties and, to me, be more progressive about trying to stop properties from being falling into terrible repair before they do. It ends up being the problem of the city, which the Ennis building has. It fell into hands that didn't have any wherewithal, and then you end up not having a choice about what you're doing. We could have a lot more of that take place in the community if we're not more proactive about making people take care of the property before it falls into that. We need to even work sometimes with individual citizens about trying, that are willing to help clean up some of those properties. I just think we can do a lot more, and we can work a lot closer together if we can really work at it. We're not always going to be in agreement. I know we can't, and nor should we, be in total agreement. But sometimes, we need to look for more reason why to do something and why not. I guess that's somebody wants to comment about that.
So I'm going to boil that down into a question, and it's going to be, what are you going to do to work with the community to increase, whether it's groups or organizations like the library or whatever, so that we cooperate on a bigger level? I know, at least in the case of the library, we've started working way more with the city, way more with groups and organizations, trying to utilize all the resources. But I think the council as a whole needs to do some work on that. So I'm kind of curious what you will do to foster the relationship. And the first person for that is Paul.
I'm not sure if I'm going to answer that totally right, but touching with what you were talking about, Jim. 12 years of being involved with team sports and stuff has taught me there's no individual, it's a group. And I like where you're going with that. I absolutely agree. Cohesiveness with the council and mayor and groups involved, economic development, all of that, I think that's huge, paramount. I myself, what would I do to help with that? I would say I would make myself available and try to be as open-minded towards everyone else's ideas, hear it out, and get with the necessary people to make a formulate a plan and move on. I'm not sure if that's totally the right answer or what you're looking for.
I'm not
but
sure there really was a wrong answer.
That's where I'm going with it, yeah.
With the question, but, Liz, go ahead.
I think we have a very good council right now, and then we're gonna elect a new council and that. And we do try to, hit the people, hit the persons, you know, that, the houses that have the rundown and that. There's only so much we can do. If we step in and say, you know, this is falling down, you can't live here, this is it, then it's the city's responsibility to do something about it, and there is where we run into the problems, because with our budget, and there is a budget, and there's not that extra money, the city is responsible then, once we hit that spot to say that you can't live here anymore. We have the Beautify Sutherland group that you can every year. The bank is 10,000 and economic development 10,000. We set it out there to where people can apply for siding their house, painting their house, you know, and we had several this year. And I think it really worked. We got some torn down. We have some sided, some painted. So I think we're going in the right direction. It's just that it takes a lot of work to get there.
Okay.
I think through no fault of anybody's, we're human. We develop our biases, we develop our predisposed ideals. But what he's right, we need to, it is a why versus a why not. It's when you can get together and visit with your council, try and mediate to, everybody isn't going to get along, everybody isn't going to agree, but we have to come to the realization that we can't just be us versus them in any type of situation. We have to all get along to meld into the other groups, to make the community better. And so it's going to be, you know, I think it's going to be interesting if there is a change in that dynamic with you know, just new energy and listening to what the problems in the past were, how to solve them, and you know, that's what we have the community for, to go to and ask you guys. And I think I've actually probably gone and asked people questions to try and figure out why things are being done. And I always get a lot of help in response.
Well, I realize that the main thing is to all of us to work together on these committees, with the council, with the mayor. And I also do realize that there's going to be times when we have to say no. But yet, we have to keep an open mind, and because we're working for the community.
Okay.
Like the big thing is everybody's gonna get along, but you said everybody's gonna get along with every situation you're into. But just to work it out, to try and figure out a way to get it fixed. And it's like I was on the fire department, that not everybody always got along, but somewhere along the line we got it figured out where it would work.
Okay. Ready to one more question, then I'm going to have them do a closing statement. So, who has one more question? Someone has to. Don't want to be here all night, do you? I'll call on someone, I swear.
Dan, I'm gonna make one more statement.
All right.
Is involved, or knew a economic development director from Sheldon that ended up moving to our city. And after he'd been there a couple of years, I happened to be going to our city, and I stopped and looked him up and was talking to him and just asked him how he liked his new position there and how things were going. And he said, I just love it. He says, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I said, well, so what's the big difference in between here and Sheldon? And he said, you know, he said, here, everybody gets together on a project comes up, everybody gets together, and there's pros and cons to it. And he said, there's people strong-minded on both sides, or whatever it may be. And he said, we sat down and we argue our points and we discuss it. And when we come to a conclusion, of what direction we're going, everybody gets on the boat and goes the same direction, even those that were opposed to it at the start. And I think that's important in every community. But sometimes things don't go the way exactly the way you want it to go, but you need to get on the boat and move in the same direction that you should be going. You just can't be obstructionist, because that is an important issue as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I'm not sure I can fish a question out of that.
That's not a question.
We did just talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna give each of the candidates a minute or so to say anything else they want to say. And I do have a few announcements after that, so don't rush out the door as soon as the last one's done. Go ahead, Liz.
Okay. I would like to continue my term as mayor to see the projects that we started in the last 4 years. I would like to see them come to conclusion. Since I've been on the council and mayor, we did start the industrial park. I remember the auction, buying the land, and that was one of my first, that was, I think, the first year I was on there. And develop it, I was amazed when we bought the land, and now we have several businesses out there. I would just like to see it continue and get the downtown, Vaness building done, but I am really looking forward to trying to develop the 14 acres that we got. That's about it.
Okay.
So, it's a common thing I keep saying. I decided to throw my hat into this because I do want to be more involved with my community, but a couple of things that I think that work for me is that I'm able to tell you guys that I can do a day and a half a week, however it is, like Jim states, as a part-time job, be at the city building. To actually be there, kind of see how everybody's doing, and if people really want to reach out and come and visit, then they know that somebody's there. It's an interesting jump. I'm pretty excited about it, and I want to hear what wasn't working. I want to learn about what that industrial park, all the stuff that was done and successful, what stuff was done and not successful, so that we can expound on that and that we can just kind of hit the ground running and just be available for everybody.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that too. I want to be available. This is the day and age of cell phones. Everybody's reachable. If you got questions, comments, get a hold of somebody. I want to make myself available to the community. I want to be around for meetings. I want to go to as many things as I can, like Chuck touched on, for both the mayoral end of it, as far as grants go. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few grants for home improvement, fixing up houses, that kind of stuff. Let's go after them. Let's get as much as we can. That's money for the town. I just want to be here. I want to be here and help out and try to make the town better.
Okay. Bud?
I would like to be more involved with the community. I know several of you in that, just to help out, to improve things. Like Chuck said, get the grants and everything to improve what we have, to keep what we've got. Just keep moving it forward, keep everybody, kind of moving in the same direction.
Joe?
Well, having a place in the Sutherland community is a very, very valuable asset to me because I was born here and my mother and father were here for years and years and years, and I really want to get more involved in the community. I realize there's a lot of learning to be had, but I'm willing to do it.
Okay. Just a few announcements. There is a benefit this Saturday for the Creebaum family and also the Salzburg family. Natasha knows the details better than I do, so if you'd like to
Yeah, sure, great. The auction's gonna start out here in the bay at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. From there, we're gonna move people over here to have a meal here in the kitchen side of the fire station. After that, about 7:30-ish, we have two performers doing acoustic performances down at the R.L. Hansen Center. Doors will open at 6:30, performances start at 7:30. Premium Draft is the first group. They're kind of a jazzy, bluesy group from Sioux City. And Jason Brown, who is an up and rising country singer, is going to do our show after that. So.
Okay. The next thing is, if anyone has any little ones that they're going trick-or-treating with, stop by the library, warm up, have some hot chocolate, we'll have treats too, of course, from 4 to 7. The library will be closed November 11th and November 23rd for Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, respectively. The Urgent Pancake Supper will be November 16th from 5 to 7 at the Johansson Center. If anyone needs tickets, they can stop by either the bar when I'm working or the library when I'm working. December 16th, the library and the commercial club will be doing the hometown Christmas together. We didn't know about this until today, so the details are a little sparse, but there is going to be a soup meal from 11:30 to 1. Open house from 12 to 2, and Santa Claus will be there at 1 o'clock, and that's December 16th. Does anyone else have any community goings-on? Okay.
I'd just like to remind people about trick-or-treating times, 5 to 8 tomorrow night for the little ones, so you have your lights on.
Okay. And there's also the event at the Church of Christ tomorrow. I think that starts at 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know the details of that. Does
They have
anyone?
bouncy house and
Oh,
box
a maze
maze.
in the basement.
And
Chili
chili,
cook-off.
there's chili cook-off.
Okay.
So
Is there any other events? Okay. The library does do a calendar every month, and we put out about 60 a month now. So if anyone has any events that they want included on it, just email us ahead of time. Normally I finish it about a couple days before the month starts, so.
Did you announce elections?
Oh, yeah, the election is a week from tomorrow. The polling place is 8 to
No, noon to 8.
noon to 8? Okay. So then we go at 8 o'clock. Does anyone have anything else they want to, Chuck?
I think we all owe Dan a round of applause for giving this thing.
I appreciate everyone coming. I really appreciate the candidates making it here today. Hopefully this will be a regular thing whenever we have contested elections from here on out, or at least as long as I'm at the library. So if no one else has anything to add, have a good night. There's coffee and cookies. Grab some on the way out.
Trick or treat.